Comic book fans, this is H.H. Sherman coming to you from the greatest city in the world. It's New York City. And today we're going to talk about a topic that has been in the news of late, and that is the death of comic book creator Ed Piskor, an indie creator, and that's frankly why I'm wearing the sunglasses and the hip-hop cap. We're going to talk about Ed Piskor, but before we do, remember to hit the like button, hit subscribe. We do have an active Kickstarter right now, and that is the manga for Volume 3. You already have Volume 1 manga. You already have Volume 2 manga, which you can get on the Kickstarter campaign. Volume 3, Kickstarter.com. Just type in "Here Comes Calico." All right, let's get that out of the way and let's talk about Ed Piskor. I had met both Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg a few times on the road, and that's because, of course, Sigma Comics travels extensively around the continent to promote our comic books and manga dedicated to the fight against animal abuse with our hero, or anti-hero I should say, the Calico. And again, in our travels, we did meet a few times with Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg. The channel they have on YouTube is called Kayfabe. Comic book Kayfabe. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. And it's a very good, cartoonist Kayfabe. That's the name of the channel. And I most certainly watch that channel regularly, because not only did they have some very interesting interviews, including some that hit very close to home for me, because I'm an indie creator, right? You have a character like Robert Kirkman on there, or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle guys, the Eastman and Laird. What wonderful stories those were, and of course we got insight through channels like Cartoonist Kayfabe, and I think they did a very good job of really getting into the nitty-gritty, into the deep insight of what it's like to have these experiences in comics. It's not everybody who has an experience like an Eastman and Laird, and wow, how else would we get that in depth? And this is why these interviews were great, because they were performed by comic book creators. It's sort of the questions that you would ask of these individuals, and they really served a great purpose to us, the indie comic book creators. And in addition to those interviews, there were also really in-depth breakdowns of magazines, content that we as comic book creators truly appreciated, like Wizard magazine. It really was a very good channel. Lots of great insights, and both individuals on that channel, Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg, just worked together very well to deliver that content to us. And in doing so, they really did an excellent job, really a wonderful job, and provided a great service to those of us who create comics and are fans of comics. So, as some of you know who are tuning in, Mr. Piskor, he was involved in some activities which, run afoul, frankly, of society. He was actually alleged to have been interacting with very young women. I think in one case it was I don't know if she was a minor or she was just a teenager or of legal age. I'm not exactly sure, but I do know that the interactions sort of delved into the inappropriate category. I think it's very fair to say that. And at least for what we know from now. So this video isn't really to it really isn't to break down whether this was okay or not. Obviously it's not okay. This is really about talking about what are the ramifications now, and what's involved, and really what's the outcome of this. Well, the outcome is the man, that being Ed Piskor, he did, unfortunately, very recently as yesterday, he committed suicide. So obviously this is a very big tragic loss for not only his immediate family, those friends and family that cared about Ed, and also his fans, which I'm sure there were many of, because his indie books were quite popular, and also those of us who work in the community and tuned into his program. And frankly, the truth is that indie creators really do support one another. People talk about comics, and a lot of the talk mainly is the big two, right? Marvel and DC. And the truth is, there is a big and growing community out there called indie comics, and more and more you're starting to see people outside of indie comics, just the creators and the fans of it. It's starting to grow, and people are starting to talk more about us, the little guys, right? So it was a loss. Again, regardless of what you feel about what he did, it is a loss for the industry, right? And as paying homage here, I'm wearing the sunglasses. Those of you guys in the crowd, the Calico fans, know I don't really wear sunglasses, but it is a tribute once again. Ed did like to wear the dark sunglasses and the cap. That was sort of his trademark, and I think he also did a dark hoodie as well. But Ed is a creator. I picked up his book again. I did meet him a few times there on the road, and this is one of his books right here, Red Room, okay, by Ed Piskor. And this is one of the books that he was promoting, and I picked this one up. I actually bought this one directly from him at a show, and we had a conversation. But again, this is really the focus of this why I'm doing this video, is because now there are ramifications, okay? And one of these ramifications, which is the most important one to me, forget about those of us creators who are watching this, okay? I'm a creator, you're a creator potentially out there. The direct loss that we have is the impact that the shows have had on our process, okay? I know many creators out there, and I'm one of them, that I tune into cartoonist kayfabe as I was bundling comics. That's sort of the activity I do. In fact, frankly, this is my bundling area here. All right, I have this long table. It's like 8 foot long, and it's sort of like a conveyor belt, manual conveyor belt, where I put the packages together and bundle everything up, the comics, and get them ready for fulfillment. I'm sorry, for distribution. So, in addition to that, the other loss is, or not the other loss, but the ramification, I should say, okay, is not outside of losing the channel, which hasn't uploaded any videos following this incident, is the personal concern I have for his partner, Jim Rugg, okay? Jim Rugg, I have met also a couple times. Very, very nice guy. I actually spoke more to Jim than I did to Ed. Frankly, I maybe spoke to Ed maybe less than 5 minutes total, but I've spoken a lot more, with Jim Rugg, who I purchased these comics from. This was actually the recent purchase I purchased from Jim. This is his Street Angel. This is the Street Angel book. Very nice book here. Highly recommend. A wonderful story here. And I've got his Hulk Grand Designs. Just, again, great comics by Jim Rugg. And why I want to show this is because this man needs our support right now. I mentioned this in a super chat through the Comics Aficionados. That's Wes's channel, Thinking Critical. That's on Saturdays. I highly recommend you guys tune into that as well. But once this did happen with the situation there with Ed, I did make a note to talk about Jim, because he is an individual who's a non-actor in this incident, in this situation, and yet he is now, unfortunately, succumbing to the blowback and after effects of this. This is a very kind gentle, insightful, and extremely talented individual. Okay, this is why I bought his comics. I bought 3 of them. And frankly, why you should too. And there's a lot of you I know in the Sigma Comics fan base that know who Jim Rugg is, like his work. I think this is the time that we all really need to support him right now, because again, this is a non-actor in the situation that happened. Yes, he is one half of the cartoonist kayfabe, but this is an individual. If I understand, he's a married man, he's a family man, and now more than ever, first of all, again, regardless of what you think about the incident itself, the fact that this, that Ed Piscor was talking to, whether it was underage or questionable aged, young women, and making whatever, sharing certain correspondences. This has absolutely nothing to do with Jim Rugg, who once again is an extremely talented, hardworking, dedicated, and very insightful creative. I mean, the commentary from Jim from every one of these shows was absolutely wonderful and captivating, and really inspirational to see him at his craft. And I absolutely want him to, in an undeterred fashion, continue doing wonderful work supported by his community and his family. And that's us. We are the community. And this is the time that he needs you now more than ever. This guy just lost, I don't know if it's his closest friend, but of course a parent to us, a very, very close friend and of course business partner in the cartoonist kayfabe. And, let me tell you, he's probably not feeling that great right now. And now's the time to give him the support and the confidence and fostering that understanding and cultivating that understanding within him that he's cared for, that his work is great, and that we enjoy him and the work that he does. Okay? Think about how bad this man is feeling right now. Okay, this man very recently has gone through a tumultuous situation that has very directly impacted his career, both financially but also emotionally. Okay, this is the time that he needs your support. I'll keep saying it. All right, and what that also means is reach out. If there's a way, if you have a method and a way to contact Jim, do it now. And don't do it once, do it more than once, and let him know that precise thing, that he is cared for, that he has your support, and that, to carry on strong and know that he's a very important person. Because, I got to tell you, I'm getting sick and tired of people canceling, People get together. It's just a human nature thing. This is what people do. All right. If you don't know people, if you're starting to get to know them, I already know them. Okay. People, they're not great. They do bad things. Okay. They're flawed. Okay. The minute they have an opportunity to take you down, guess what they're going to do? They're going to take you down. All right. So what you have to do is, if you love somebody and you care about them, whenever they're down on their knees, or they're down for the count, cheer them on to get up. Okay, if you cheer them on loud enough, they're gonna hear you. Okay, so those of you who know me, I'm a former fighter. Okay, so thankfully I've never been knocked down in a boxing match, and it's never been needed. I never had the need to to hear that. But let me tell you, hearing that, and I did hear it regardless, was great. Every time I entered the ring and there were people supporting me out there, it was a wonderful feeling. And absolutely, it helps you become stronger and it empowers you. Well, you know what? That's what Jim Rugg needs right now. All right? Jim Rugg was just hit with a left hook to the body. And those of you who've been hit with left hooks to the body, you know what that feels like. He's doubled over and he's down. All right? And what we got to do now is, right now in his ear, he's hearing the numbers being counted. All right, he's hearing 2, 3, and now's the time where he needs you to get him up. All right, you ever play those video games back in the 80s and 90s where you had to smash the buttons to get your fighter up. That's what you got to do, man. Smash those buttons. All right, smash those buttons on your phone, on your computer, and say, hey, Jim, you know what, man? You're great, dude. You know, keep on doing it because you're the best. Get it done. We want to see some comics from you. All right? The very last thing I want to hear as a creator is anything happening to that man. Okay? That man needs your support right now. Go out and help him. Okay? Go out and help him. And you know what? If you don't know who Jim Rugg is, familiarize yourself with Jim Rugg. Just do a search on Google. Do Jim Rugg. And I would say, if you haven't heard, I mean, what a great book this is. Hulk Grand Design. Jim Rugg, Hulk Grand Design. This is a great title to start on. I mean, you could start on the indies if you're more of an indie person. Street Angel is a great book as well. Very nice series here. Check that out and give Jim Rugg your support. I guarantee you it's going to feel like $100. It's going to feel like $100 to him. Go out and support Jim Rugg. I'm going to keep it as short as I can for this one because I think I've already said my point, which is that sometimes bad things happen to you, okay, and you really need people to go and support you. And a bad thing has happened in Jim Rugg's circle, and obviously to the family of Ed Piskor. You know, absolute deepest and most sincere sentiments and condolences go out to that family who's in serious pain right now, but also the friends and family, and of course that includes Jim Rugg. All right, so anyway, that's it for now. All right, give Jim Rugg your support. He's not in a good way. Now's the time to help him get up on his feet and keep doing the good things for indie comics. Do good in the world. Go get out there and do some good in the world. And remember what we're doing. We're fighting animal abuse through comics. That's it for now. Keep on fighting for animals.